I bought some things. Like one of them things, there's a few things in life like I've never really bought, but I somehow have an abundance of. Hangers are one of those things. It's weird, right?
No,
I never,
where do you like? Yeah, where do hangers come
I
from?
don't ever recall buying any hangers ever. But
They just like manifest into reality.
I recently bought some towels, a bunch of towels, like 12 towels, and it sucks because every time I use one, like I'm just covered in pink fuzzy shit
Oh,
or
brand new,
whatever,
bro.
or
How
whatever
weird.
color it is. Like I got pink ones, blue, orange, a
Yeah.
bunch of different colors, and I'm just covered with like everywhere. Like
Bro, we
it's
have to
just
have some sort of weird, like,
it's crazy.
unexplained connection.
I'm just saying. I just look down at my unmentionables and they're covered in pink fuzzies.
Well, so real talk, this just happened just this last week. I went swimming for work. Took some of my clients to the rec center. Went swimming, and I met my wife at like Ross or TJ Maxx, and she bought some towels. And I was like, "Oh, let me get one of those towels. I'll bring it
Yeah.
with me swimming." And when I was done, I was drying off, and I went to put lotion on, and I was just like covered in like fuzz, and it
Oh
like was,
man,
and with
it
lotion
sucks.
on, it was like the worst thing.
Yeah, that's the thing
exact
too.
same
You
thing
putting
happened.
lotion. Like I usually use raw shea butter to keep my skin silky smooth, but no, the fuzzies all over, bro. I do not like it. And at this point, I think I should probably do the
The
introduction.
intro. That's it.
Beautiful
Thank
voice.
you. Thank you.
Peace and blessings, kings and queens. My name is Jaquan Davis,
And I am Nicholas Fletcher.
and you are now tuned in to, as Nick looks at me menacingly,
With bated breath.
another episode of You Making Me Feel Bad. You are now tuned into another episode of the Young Old Heads podcast, the hip hop podcast. We actually got a lot of hip hop topics today,
Yeah, today is hip hop.
where we talk about a little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing. Before we get into the things and such, how was your week, sir?
Decent, I would say. Not a bad week. Really busy. This was one of those weeks where
Oh, also, we got my son in the background, but
hey JJ.
say what's up, man. Nigga?
Hi.
Oh, all right, cool.
That's it.
Anyway,
That's all we get with no enthusiasm whatsoever.
I'm here.
No, but so I talk about like anxiety and mental health a lot, and I'm one of those guys where I could just give the greatest advice ever, but I have a hard time following it. And this is one of
Touche.
those
Yeah,
weeks
same,
where
same.
I really need to follow my own advice because I overwhelm myself with responsibilities. So
Ridiculous.
this week has been a very big eye opener for it's like, bro, you need to like just chill out a little bit. So otherwise, a pretty good week. Pretty uneventful. I just
Yeah.
like worked and hung out and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but I mean that's not bad. I ordered a new computer for studio stuff, and you want to know something weird? So I ordered it, and I ordered it like forever ago. I don't even maybe this week. I ordered it on I think like the 17th, and it's still when I go check, it hasn't pulled the money out of my account yet, and it still says processing.
That's weird.
So I called Apple and was like, "Hey, like, are you gonna like send me my computer?" And they're like, "Oh, well, it doesn't ship for another couple days. We'll bill you when it ships." I'm like, so I just gotta sit here with all this
Yeah.
money in my account and hope nothing else.
No,
like,
a lot of places do that, and I hate it. I'd
yeah, I
rather
didn't
you
realize.
just take it
'Cause,
immediately.
What if a bill, like, what if a random bill comes through, they go to process it, and then it kicks it back,
Yeah,
and then
it's
just
I'd rather. I hate that some companies do that, but they do for whatever.
yeah. But anyway,
peculiar
so
reason.
so how was your week?
My week was an emotional roller coaster. No, I wouldn't go that far, but so I was on a somber note. My cousin Courtney, shout out to you, cuz. This guy's been through a lot. He's only like I think maybe 2 years older than me, but this was my dude growing up. Like we were real close, and I'd always go to his house. He's got a bunch of brothers, but I'd always go to his house to just hang out with him because this was my guy. But he's been through a lot, man. He got in a car wreck back in '05, and then he got in a motorcycle accident back in 2012.
Jeez.
Yeah, but then just this last week, he actually got shot. Like, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
damn,
So,
bro.
yeah, so he seems to be doing okay. You know, his mom posts updates and stuff on Facebook. I talked to my mom about the whole situation, But so he seems to be doing all right. But yeah, he already was paralyzed on his left side, and it's just like I don't like he wasn't even doing nothing illicit or he wasn't like into nothing crazy. He was
Just
just
wrong place,
hanging
wrong time.
outside. Somebody drove up and just started shooting, and he got hit.
God damn, bro.
So
I'm sorry to hear
it's
that.
terrible. Really hoping he does pull through, and but it's just sad to hear that he's gone. He's always a good dude to me, and it's sad to hear that he's gone through so much stuff.
That's rough. Man.
But on a more positive note, like I said, I did get to speak with my mother extensively, which my mom's a nutcase, but I wouldn't replace her for the world. I think I told you also, and the listeners, that my father and I's relationship has been on the mend, which we're continuing that, and he's actually supposed to come visit next week.
Oh, nice,
so,
bro.
Yeah,
When he does it. Okay,
All right, so him and my little brother are supposed to come visit next week, and then so this week was decent. Work was hot as a bitch.
Yo, it has been hot, bro.
was hot.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I've been kind of talking about my whole fitness stuff. Been back with the weights, doing the yoga and stuff, eating clean. When I say eating clean, like I mean I done cut out red meat, doing the minimal dairy products, and then no bread, barely any bread. If just occasionally
Just
a little
eating
bit.
grass at this point.
Yeah, just grass. No, but it's crazy because we had a barbecue at work on Thursday, and my boss grilled some delicious steaks, and then we had rolls with honey butter and potato salad and all that good stuff. And I pigged out and felt miserable.
Oh, every time I eat well,
Miserable.
and I like do the whole I have one bad meal thing. It reminds you like, oh, yo, like
Yeah, it's like I can't. It's like a shark with blood in the water. Like you get a taste. You're like, oh no, it's time to. Yeah, so I can't even like cheat days, cheat meals. It's usually a process for me to get back to where I need to be. So I just been kind of trying to avoid that, at least for a while, until I'm solid back into my eating clean. So yeah, that was my week, and then of course I'm spending time with my son. My son's always he lights up my world. He just sitting there looking at me like, "Come on, man, for real."
Come on, dude.
His voice is deep like that now too.
Sound, yeah.
But so what do we have on the docket?
This was this was a topic I picked.
Are you so?
Well, because the reason I'm
just kidding.
elaborating
Don't get
is
defensive, bro.
well,
I'm
I
just
mean,
playing.
because you really said you had no input here.
Okay.
So
I'm
gonna.
I don't care about this thing he's about. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, there's a well-known rapper, Lupe Fiasco, another well-known, what I would consider legend rapper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Royce
I think
the 5'9".
Lupe might actually be more well known though.
Oh yeah,
honestly,
absolutely.
yeah.
Especially in a mainstream,
mainstream,
standpoint.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Lupe and Royce, they have a podcast together. I'm going to try to condense this as much as possible, but essentially, somehow the conversation got brought up who would win a battle between the two.
Oh.
And Royce is hyper competitive as it is,
Yeah.
and then other like outside sources, like other MCs hopping into like how they'll do the video chats and like a bunch of people hop in and they'll post it.
Yeah.
Well, they'll do those and they'll just have their debates. And it just kind of got heated. But, it's always got that playful connotation to it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just goes over that line.
Yeah.
And so one of their more recent exchanges, Lupe hopped in the chat and Royce basically... So Lupe, I don't know how involved he is, but there's this organization called EOW. It stands for End of the Week. And a bunch of MCs come and they compete in a bunch of different facets of... MCing, like writing, freestyling, all conceptual stuff.
Yeah.
And Lupe was like promoting EOW, and Royce came in and was like, "Yo, you and anybody in EOW, I will mop the floor with." Like, because Lupe was saying EOW is the bar for MC. Like the best MC is this dude named Osiris because he just won the most recent EOW. And Royce was like, "Yo, you let Osiris and anybody at EOW know I will mop the floor with him." So it just started getting really competitive. Well, they ended up, long story short, they end up having diss tracks back and forth. We listened to a little bit of them. They're both like 7 minutes long. So
I mean, there was some fire bars in there, but my attention span ain't
7 minutes.
seven
Yeah,
minutes.
you gotta be
If
real invested.
I'm not. I was gonna say I'm not invested enough to
Even as a fan of diss tracks, too long for both of them.
It's a
you know,
lot.
you could have condensed those into rounds. Give me like,
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah.
So anyway, so Roy Stripes drops his "Silence of the Lambda," which I guess is a shot at. It's a play on something. I don't know if Lupe has an album called Lambda or something, but something to do with his persona. And such a dope track in general, fire. But my thing with it is it's full of filler. There's not a lot of. So I mean,
What do you say filler? You just mean bars not directed at
Yes,
Lupe?
exactly. So filler. These are fire bars. They're just. We even commented on how just immaculate Royce is at piecing words together.
He is phenomenal.
But it wasn't much personal stuff. And as a rapper, when it comes to battles, I want to hear you like break this person down, like on a level. And then Lupe's response, he did exactly that. He went directly at Royce, like no filler, and some lines maybe a little bit like there was a couple in there you're like, ooh, that was pretty. Like he has that one line where he's like, he says something. Like something about going to school. He goes, "You were skipping classes. I listened to your track record. You were skipping classics. I did it on my first one and delivered to the masses." And there's just like lines like that. But but anyway, so they have beef. But since it's happened, there's another rapper. Have you ever heard of oh God, what's his name? Mickey Fax.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I couldn't tell you a song, but I've heard.
Well, he's super dope. But anyway, so now, essentially, the most recent. Little live chat they did. They're kind of like alluding that there's more to come to the battle, so I'm looking forward to it. So I think Lupe has round one, but I think if Royce really, lyrically and conceptually, I think Royce would win if he really invested into it. I think Royce is a better lyricist, better rapper.
Yeah, Lupe's no slouch, but you know,
Royce is just next.
Royce is just on a different level. Like I feel like if you were to talk about the greats and not include stuff like numbers and sales and stuff, he's got all the accolades.
Yeah, 100%.
You know.
Yeah, so we'll see where it goes. But with that, this is where I actually really enjoy what's going on. The most recent chat they did, it was Royce, Mickey, Joe Budden hopped in, and I forget who else. But they're talking about it. And even though they're kind of jabbing each other, it's still like a friendly connotation, and they're also giving each other like their props and being and openly talking about this being a competitive thing. Being like, yeah, this is because Royce and Mickey are like talking shit to each other, but they're both like, hey man, I respect the fuck out of you. You're phenomenal at what you do. You're amazing, but like I think I would wash you on a song. And he's
I respect that. I'd like to see the beef on wax without the violence.
Exactly.
Wanting this man to die.
Where it's openly being like, man, I'm just out here showing that. Royce compares it to boxing. He's like, it's like boxing. He's like, I don't have to hate you to get in the ring with you. Like,
it makes me think of how you got like some of these guys in the younger generation. Like they went the other way with some of the beef stuff. Legit. Like there's a song where this dude's singing about killing another guy or somebody's. His rivals, homies that are dead, he's singing about them. And then he goes to one of the dude's graves.
Yes, I saw it. And took pictures and posted it.
Like, wow.
Yeah, too far. And that's where it's nice to see these vets, these guys who've been in hip-hop for, decades, who are kind of bringing more class to the competitive side. Being like, battle rap is a popular thing. People enjoy it. I don't have to, despise you to battle you. So, so... I'm curious to see where it's going to go. It's pretty cool. Lupe did come out recently and say that the podcast is over though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said on his end, he's like, man, and he's like, it's all love to Royce. He goes, but I think it has gone far enough that maybe the podcast just doesn't have any future to it, which is unfortunate, man.
Yeah, it is.
That does suck.
Well, I can't even say it is because I never listened, but
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But it
Neither
was
did
just
I,
dope.
Ironically,
It was just dope that they had one together. You know, you see a lot of these veterans doing podcasts now. Which one I want to listen to is the Ghetto Boys. Scarface and Willie D have one. So
Method Man has one too. It's like a Marvel one that he.
Oh, really? Might have to check that out.
It's like hip hop Marvel. Anyway,
Nice.
so the next thing is my random fact. So this random fact, I feel I heard this such a long time ago, and it might be. I feel like maybe a pretty large amount of people might know this one, but I find it very interesting, and it's a testament to how weird human beings are. Okay, so so this one is an animal. This doesn't make sense how they word it. It's an animal myth that's true. So it's not a fucking myth. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. So, but
here's a lie that's the truth.
here's
like
a factual lie. Yeah.
Alternative facts. Those are alternative facts.
So eating parts of a puffer fish can kill you because a defense mechanism to ward off predators. It contains a deadly chemical called tetrodotoxin or tetrodotoxin.
Sounds like something you get at a pharmacy.
Yeah. So there's enough in one puffer fish to kill 30 people.
God
and
damn.
And there's no antidote for this poison.
God.
Yeah, no antidote. But still, the puffer fish is called fugu, I guess.
Fugu?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is a highly prized delicacy in Japan, but can only be prepared by well-trained chefs. How crazy is it? That,
I don't understand. Like,
Okay.
what difference does it make about the chef, though? Like, is there only certain portions of the fish?
Yes,
you
exactly.
can-
So,
Okay, so-
if you have to eat it, like, so the chef has to get rid of any of the parts that can be toxic to humans.
Oh.
So the parts that are edible.
So if
you-
they got, like, a bad memory and they're like...
or
putting
they
it
just had an off day.
Yeah, had an
Like,
off
you
day.
might
Oh,
die.
Get this puffer fish together.
Yeah, that's where humans are crazy. Like, who would want to risk it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna order that
it's
puffer.
not.
Like today might be the day.
Yeah,
man.
it's like-
I might
we might
get
have
that.
some puffer fish. I don't know if it's... I might not return, guys, but we're going to have some puffer fish.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
just gonna-
Well, it depends on
It's in
how.
God's hands.
It's
At
like
this
a
point.
Russian roulette with
Yeah,
food.
with-
Like,
yeah, exactly.
you may have, and like if it's just like what if it's just like a small, like if it's just in a small portion of the fish, like what if just a little piece of that portion gets mixed in?
Exactly. Like it's a gamble that like why take it?
Yeah,
Why
like
take it?
it's
And it's
just-
considered like highly like a delicacy in Japan.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's very
good on
strange.
No.
It also makes you think, who found out that parts of it were edible?
Yeah, and how do you know that 30 people?
Yeah, that's another thing.
I have several questions.
Yeah, so that's the.
But I don't want no damn puffer fish. I don't want no parts of it. Hey, this one doesn't have poison. Nah, I'm good, man.
We're
I'm
like
good.
pretty sure.
We think we got most of the poison cut out.
It's not,
This is my first day. Sorry, man.
this is my first puffer fish.
I've been a chef for 20 years. This is my first.
How many
puffer fish.
people do you accidentally kill before you get
Yeah,
cutting up puffer fish?
Oh my gosh. No thanks on the puffer fish. And I like seafood a lot, but no thank you.
No puffer fish.
Not for me. Except for one time I had calamari rings and they were like fried rubber bands. Like
we have weird texture.
It was but I had them another time. I don't think it was the rings that time, but it was good the other time I had it. But also, I don't know if I had mentioned this on the podcast, but I tried Rocky Mountain oysters.
You did. I think you did say that.
Did
on
I
the
mention
pod.
it?
You told me at least.
As I told you.
You did
and
tell me at least.
Not for me, man. I couldn't get over the fact of what they were. Like, if you've seen them, they just look like some nuggets or something, but...
I heard somebody like that they pop when you eat them. Is that true? Okay.
Not the ones I had anyway. I just had like two smaller pieces, and I was just like, "Oh no, this don't." And then
For those that don't know what a Rocky Mountain oyster is, would you like to enlighten them?
no, Google is
it.
your friend, people.
Yeah.
Google is your friend.
Google
so.
a Rocky Mountain oyster. Strangest thing I probably ever ate, and I don't think this is that crazy, but in Vegas, or not in Vegas, Wendover. That's the other gambling place, right? Wendover. No, was it Vegas? No, it wasn't.
Damn, bro, you all over.
Yeah.
You were somewhere where gambling
Yeah,
is.
just globetrotting. Anyway, so we went to this really nice, this like super nice restaurant. We were with this dude who was like when you go to the casino, you get a color of card for how much money you spend there.
Okay.
This dude was a black card member. That top notch. This dude.
Okay, so
spends
I'm
a
guessing.
lot.
I was gonna say I'm guessing that must be the top.
Yeah, that's top.
Okay, because you did and you left out
Yeah,
that detail.
yeah. So,
but go ahead.
Him and his wife were talking about how one time his wife won $30,000 on a machine, and just like no big deal.
No, it's just $30K.
One night we were gambling together, and I'm sitting here like sliding, like if I bet $20, that was like me being like, whoo, like here we
Yeah.
go. Dude had a stack of hundreds, and at the end of the night we were like, man, we're gonna head back to the hotel. And he's like, yeah, me too. And he goes all in and just slid over hundreds of dollars, and then lost him, and didn't bother him whatsoever. He was
Wow.
like, nah, whatever.
I don't know if that's impressive or sad.
Yeah,
'cause it's
exactly,
you-
yeah.
You must be doing well financially, but that's a
it's
lot of
something,
money to just.
But anyway, so we go to this restaurant with him there, and it's the nicest restaurant they have there. And he ends up. They bring us our ticket at the end, and he comps the whole meal. He pays for everything, and it's hundreds of dollars. There's a pretty big group of us, but all he does is pull out his black card, and they like take it back. And I guess he just had enough accumulated on it reward wise. They're like, oh yeah, your meal's like comped. So anyway, there was a buffet section, and there were frog legs, and I tried frog legs.
What were they? I heard they taste like chicken wings.
It did. It tasted like chicken.
There's less meat though, right?
Yeah, less meat, and also the texture is very slimy.
Ah.
So yeah.
Were they seasoned? Was it done well?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's a nice restaurant. It was like a really nice restaurant. So I'm assuming it was probably higher end frog leg.
If you still ate meat, would you have them again?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
It was
texture
just,
guy.
Slimy, just wasn't it? So you just had one bite and was like, ah.
Yeah, like legit. Yeah.
Not the frog legs.
Yeah. So.
I'd probably try them. I'm very
adventurous. I mean, you tried
when it
Rocky
comes to-
Mountain oysters.
Yeah.
I feel like that's much more adventurous than a
Well, it was
frog
actually
leg.
like after several days of my boss trying to talk me into them. And I was like, all right, man. He ordered some when we got to this place called the Country Club. And I tried a couple. Not for me, man. Not for me. So
one thing I want to talk about really quick. So, do you know much about Kanye's new album?
not really. I do know that Jay-Z is a part of it, which is big.
Yeah, that's crazy.
because-
After their whole falling out,
Yeah,
which was
and Jay-Z mentioned this might be the return of the throne, so it would be cool if they did another collaboration
collab
album.
But so this is my only 2 cents on it, Kay. So
He walks around with a stocking cap on his face. What?
he's a weird. Okay,
He
bro,
is
that's
so
my
odd.
point.
Like,
I don't fuck with Kanye anymore.
Yeah,
Just realistically, he's weird to be weird. I don't know how much is genuine, how much is shock value.
Yeah.
I don't.
He was always like different. Like when he came in during the era of baggy clothes and was wearing like sweaters and stuff that fit, and so there was always an element of difference about him. But now it's like he's going out of his way.
way.
It's
I mean,
like-
not just
like,
way
bro,
out of his way.
we fucked with you because of who you are. Like you don't have to keep pushing the.
Musically, you can't take anything away from that
No,
man.
it's a musical genius.
But just him. So this album that it was supposed to come out last Friday.
Yeah, that was bogus. Yeah.
Didn't drop. That's multiple times that has happened, and people keep kind of like blaming it on his genius. That I'm like, no, fuck that. Quit telling me albums are going to come out and then not dropping them. That is
Exactly.
not genius
It's
to
not a
me.
good look,
That's
man.
annoying. Like, stop doing that shit. And I don't know why it irked me because
Yeah,
he did his listening party and they were like, yo, Jay-Z came out and this. And I was like, yo, I got to hear this Jay-Z collab. Went and checked and it never came out. Checked again, never came out. Twitter for 3 days is like, where's this goddamn album?
it was supposed to drop Friday, I
and
believe.
then Def Jam comes out and they're like, oh, now it's releasing like August 6th or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like, and who knows? August 6th might come and we might not still see it. It's
Yeah,
just-
I don't know.
yeah, so, but yeah, when it comes to that level of stuff, I'm just not a fan of Kanye
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't,
Musically, talented dude, but
My interest. There's certain artists, man, I just kind of am cool on after a while, and he's one of them. Like him, I would say Drake, I would say Eminem, like artists who I'm like, I respect what you can do, but I'm just not interested anymore, you know? So.
that's fair.
No interest. All right, so what are we going to get into next? We ain't got a whole lot of
Yeah,
time.
we don't. So the next thing is we were going to talk about bad habits that the internet created.
Okay, real briefly, I think we just kind of touched on one earlier when we were talking about the 7-minute song. I think it's crippled our attention spans
100%.
because you look at it like you think about it. 10 minutes is not a long time.
No.
Like if you would have said me, "Here, it was a 10-minute movie," get that shit. What 10-minute
Yeah,
movie?
or like check out this video on YouTube and it was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've went to watch a video and saw it was like 6 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah,
nope.
somebody tagged me in something that was like 12 minutes. I'm like, bro, don't do that.
Yeah.
Tag me in a 7-minute video. I'm like, I tried, man. And then I think a lot of people, there's just certain things you don't really notice until the internet like puts it on blast, if you will. Like I never really paid too much attention to women's eyebrows. But the internet has like got me judging them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, she
right?
fine, but them eyebrows.
Yeah, no, I totally.
She need to do something about them eyebrows. Yeah. She would look good if her eyebrows were, so little shit like that. I mean, I don't think it's, life-changing stuff, but just little minor habits I've noticed have changed being somebody who uses the internet a lot.
I think the worst one is probably our inability nowadays to not have a distraction.
Yeah.
Our phones are the ultimate distraction. So to sit in a room and just quietly, just sit in a room. Think about back in the day, even as a kid, when you went to the doctor's office. Yeah. You had to wait in the waiting room. Yeah. You might have looked at some magazines, messed around, whatever. Yep. But now we have to be distracted. Yeah. And it's evolved beyond just like everything. I mean, I caught myself doing it today. I was playing with my kids up in their room, and my daughter was pretending we were camping, and she was just, doing all this, like just, just having fun. Yeah. And I multiple times just autopilot came in, and I'd go and grab my phone and start scrolling and go, oh, like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. And I'd put it back down, and dude, like, be in the moment. You're with your kids, and then literally autopilot would just grab my phone out of nowhere and yeah,
so man, that happens to me too. Like I'll just be doing like my meal prep or my Sunday chores or what have you, and I just find myself like, oh shit, it's been 10 minutes. I gotta get this check going.
Sitting on the toilet and just scrolling through.
Yeah, legs asleep. And shit. I think this also ties into it, but I think it's caused us to be impatient too, which I think kind of falls in with the attention span thing, and also. Like people, I'm an avid reader, but one thing I see a lot on certain blogs and stuff I follow, like somebody will post something that's like a couple paragraphs, and you see people in the comment section. I'm not reading all that. I ain't reading all that.
And I'm guilty of it. I'm that guy.
I feel like if it's like a few pages and it's somebody I'm not very invested in, I'm like, okay, what?
If I'm interested, but I'll even see people will post statuses, like friends of mine on Facebook. Yeah. And I'm not talking like close friends, but just like people that I know well enough.
Super long statuses.
And I'll like get like 3 sentences in and be like, okay, like this is just.
I kind of see where you're going. One thing that irks me with that is when I see like so many misspellings, I'm like, this hurt the validity. I'm sorry, I'm not like criticizing your thoughts.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's just like for me, I can't take none of this serious. Like you said, oh, she's my perfect little angle. Like chill, bro. You don't know these.
I love the smell of his colon.
yeah, it's ridiculous stuff. So I'm like, there's so much more we can talk about with that, though. I think that's something we're gonna have to circle back to for sure. So what do we have next in our next couple minutes?
You said you have a couple what the fuck headlines.
What the fuck headlines? This has been my thing. This is my thing.
Yeah, bro. I don't know where you were consistently seeing these.
Okay, so this one is eerie and actually not too far from us. And also, it's emphasis on the WTF. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. Colorado man convicted of killing teen son. That's horrible, right?
Yeah,
right. That's awful, Who found his boiling hot diarrhea fetish pictures. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I have lots of layers here. Boiling hot diarrhea?
Boiling hot diarrhea. And I guess he was like, oh no, you ain't telling. Obviously it still got out, but it's like now your son's gone, you're a murderer, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison. Like
just
you
gonna
did this
say,
been people.
If I had a boiling hot diarrhea fetish and you found out, I'm killing you too. So
So, well, I mean, this kid actually died. Let's not
okay,
make
yeah,
light
okay,
of
that's
this.
true. Okay, that's
But
true.
it's just like I would have rather people known. It's like I could deny it till I'm blue in the face, then now my son's dead.
That's
Now I'm
true.
in prison. And now people actually do know, which
That
they may not have
yeah.
if my son lived.
And what?
Okay.
And there's so many because some of them I wonder if they're satire to a degree because that one is so outlandish that there's so many layers of questioning I have. Like for
That's
instance,
a pretty-
did he tell the police like when they caught him? Was like, why'd you kill him? And he's like, well, officer.
Who knows? Maybe it was. I should have dug a little deeper into it. Maybe he sent the message to some.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, that's true.
there's
Yeah, maybe he was out there
maybe
telling
there's
his friends like,
camera-
my dad's weird as fuck.
Maybe there was camera footage or
Yeah, who
something.
knows? But yeah, okay.
So
Give us a more lighthearted one.
okay, this one is more lighthearted. Florida woman skinny dips in stranger's pool, tells homeowner to leave her alone. Yeah, what are you doing?
Style.
Like I'm
I
it's
like
hot
her-
out here.
I like her style.
Leave me. She was. I
get
seen
out
the
of here.
video. She looked like she was highly intoxicated, but it's just like wow, the
I like.
nerve.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. The audacity. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm just swimming in your pool. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, and then we'll end on one more that's pretty lighthearted too. It's just again, emphasis. Don't look.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
will show you after I say what it is.
Just the picture of the guy.
Kind of looks like you. Florida man tries to throw alligator onto a building rooftop. It's like you're brave, you're stupid.
Yeah, like,
what's wrong with you?
yeah.
Like you gonna try to manhandle an alligator? I don't know how high of a building this was, but regardless, you tried to throw.
So
an
he tried to
alligator-
throw on top of the. He tried to like.
Yeah, onto a
He
building
tried to shot
rooftop.
put an alligator.
Basically, yeah, and he looks like he's probably
bad.
a fan of the narcotics.
Yeah,
Looks like he may have been through some things too.
You
But
could
I'm
have.
just like,
You could have just read the. You could have not added Florida man, and I would have known.
yeah,
Florida man.
no, I don't know what's going on, man. So yeah, those are the WTF headlines of this week, ladies and gentlemen. If you have seen any WTF headlines this week, hop in the comments and let us know about them. I want to hear from you. Got people like messaging me saying they enjoyed the episode and this, that. I'm like, that's great, but could you just get in the comment section.
Yeah, just comment. Yeah.
Yeah, you could just get in the comments and say, hey, this is a great episode, Jay or Nick or whatever. So, all right. So
what we'll conclude on, because we're at time here, is a would you rather. I like ending with them just because one, and you said you have two. Have you picked one yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because this is so. What I like, I'm entering this with no. I have no idea.
Yeah,
what
I haven't mentioned to him either of these.
Okay, so let's hear one.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with this one because this is one where you can get introspective with.
Okay.
Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade?
Ooh.
I feel like both of those are miserable.
Yeah, awful. Okay, because so you have the coma. I would wake up 43 years old.
Yeah.
And on top of that, that would be, I'd have a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And a 13-year-old.
And you missed like some major moments in their lives. My son would be old enough to drink. Like
That is wild.
He'll be 12 this year. I was about to say he'll be 22.
He'll be 22.
He'd be going on 22 if that were the case.
That's crazy.
And like it's like you just missed all of that. Which I mean, if you're in jail for 5 years, obviously you're still
But
gonna miss a lot of stuff.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm picking jail. I'd pick jail.
You'll have contact
Yeah.
still. You know, you can still have visits and calls and things of this nature.
And in jail, I think, so coma, you wake up to a completely different world, mind you. Like, we're talking politically, socially, technology is going to be way different. In jail, although you might not have access to everything, you're still at least going to be, like, updated on how, like, society has
man, I
evolved
always
and
see
whatnot.
videos on Instagram of dudes in prison, and they'll be like on FaceTime and Instagram Live and shit.
I'm not sure how that shit works either.
Yeah, I
I've
don't
seen
know.
that too, like in their jail cell. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I seen one. They had like dominoes and all this other stuff in there, and like a big screen TV. I'm like, how?
just staying at a 5-star.
Like, you know, but it still would be very difficult to have to live that way and have somebody tell you when to go, when to come. You can't do this. You did, you know.
You also have to look at the layer though of like what jail might do to somebody, like prison. Like if you've been locked up for 5 years, having to adapt to that, like survive in that climate.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
because that's very true. Because it's a different world
exactly,
from what they say.
It's
so.
a dog eat dog world in there. So but I think I would still pick that because one, still gonna keep because realistically, how shitty would it be to be in a coma and me wake up and not only have my kids 10 years older, but like have Felicia like moved on, you know, like in that sense.
That's
like,
great. Like they didn't think you were gonna make it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
with your life.
like,
and now you're back, and you gotta just accept that. It's like, no, but I love him. We've been married for 8 years. Like I divorced you when you were in your coma. We got me and this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like not and like even what if they had new kids together?
Oh
you know? Like,
man, that'd be awful to wake up to.
Yeah, so
it's crazy because like you think about that, and this is something similar, but on a very minuscule scale. Like I remember one time I came home from work, I took a little nap, and I slept so hard. I had to open up the shop the next day at 4 a.m. I slept so hard that I woke up, and I seen my clock said 4:34. I'm like, oh shit, I'm late, running. What's going on? Where am I? And I was almost out the door before I realized it was 4:34 of the afternoon.
Oh, really?
And the sun isn't even out at 4:30 in the morning. So, but yeah, it's just like one of them things. Like you're so like imagine that, but just on a bigger scale.
Times 10,000. Yeah, just waking up. And,
like, it's like, oh no, it's 4:34, but it's like 2047. Like,
well, because even look back 5 years ago, how much politically things have changed. Like the direction of, and then with that, how much society has changed and the degree of technology. 10 years from now, God knows what.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
I'm
jail for sure.
I think I'm gonna go with jail as well because at least you're somewhat in the know. Like it ain't nearly, you're somewhat.
And my goal for 5, I would come out more jacked. Than
huge, big as shit.
Just beefcake,
just shredded.
All right, well, you have been tuned in to another episode of the Young Old Heads podcast.
Also, get in the comments and let us know if you'd rather do the coma, 10 years in a coma, or 5 years in jail. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I am Nicholas Fletcher.
And I am Tercel Tetrazzini. I'm Jaquan Davis.
This is a hip-hop podcast where we talk a little bit about everything and a whole lot about nothing. Thanks for tuning in. And again, guys, just jump in the comments. I don't care what you say.
Like the video, too.
Yeah, the videos, jump in the comments. We sound just so desperate at this point. We're like,
please, we need your money.
Hey, we're going to start a GoFundMe and be like, we don't need no money.
Yeah.
Just all you got to do is comment.
Donate likes and comments. Yeah.
All right, bye.
Peace.